Here's 3 tips to help you find the lesson in the worst times. Now, life has taught me that even the worst times can hold a lesson. We just can't always see it at the time. It's often in hindsight that all of these things become clear. Now, recently, my theory got tested. I went on a trip and everything seemed to go wrong. Plans fell through, people fell out. I just was doing many different things wishing I wasn't there. And to top it all off, I got injured when I got back and I needed to recover for a few weeks just when I was so excited to keep momentum going with work and life. And I was like, no, slowing down can't be the lesson. And this entire time that I was on this trip, I was looking for the lesson. I was intently thinking that if I could hack my way through it and just visualize what it was quickly, then maybe I could speed up the process of acceptance, bringing the lesson on board, and then moving through the pain. Well, if only life worked that way. Often it doesn't. And so no matter what you've been through, sometimes we're looking so hard for the lesson that we just miss it. It's almost like the more you look, the more it disappears, and we think, what is the point of this time? And it can feel super confusing. Kind of like this concept of the dark night of the soul, where all the things that you used to do to make yourself feel better simply don't work anymore. Maybe you're in a triggered state or feeling afraid or feeling nervous. Or for me, I had lots of intrusive thoughts telling me that I shouldn't have booked this trip in the first place, that I was a bad person, that if you've had intrusive thoughts, then you know exactly what I mean. So life doesn't always work that way, but here's 3 ways that you can find that lesson eventually in order to stack those insights over time and allow you to ease through these difficult times with more peace and calm, trusting that, the lesson will eventually come. So my first step is trust the process. Now this can be so difficult when, the formula isn't the same as the last time I went through a difficult time. You might know that there is a lesson, even if you don't see it. So a question I like to ask myself during the tough times is, I don't see it right now, but I wonder what this time is preparing me for, because over the years I've learned that even if I don't understand what's going on, eventually I'm able to piece it all together, find that lesson, and hopefully the next time, I'll come around and learn that lesson just a little bit quicker when I'm tested. So trust the process. Now, this is easier said than done because, like I said, nothing makes sense in those times. So what are the foundations, the routines that you've had in the past that can help you trust that process? And so for me, I knew that I had to feel the feelings and just sit with it and know that eventually I would connect the dots. And so my second tip is to process things. Now that's going to look different for different people, but for me, it could be reflection, it could be journaling, it could be definitely feeling your feelings, because when we avoid them, when we suppress them, when we pretend that we're fine and nothing is bothering us, well, actually, the opposite happens. We're suppressing so much, and eventually the cracks are going to show, and it's all going to come out, maybe when at the worst possible time or when we've least expected it. So for me, I like simple things like if I'm walking, I don't have any headphones in. I'm not listening to a podcast or music or things that will influence me. I'm just moving around the world and actually feeling the feelings and allowing the dots to connect in my mind, even if it doesn't feel like any dots are connecting at the time. I love the habit of meditating, and sometimes even the meditation, whether it's short or long, just doesn't quite seem to be giving you the magic, something's off. That doesn't mean you don't do it, because what it is it's allowing yourself to sit with those uncomfortable feelings and just see where they flow, where the kind of discomfort and niggles are, because all of those are clues to the lesson that is waiting for you. I would also be really careful with the people, the best, most well-meaning people that love you and offer to help in some way. They are not within your body and within your feelings. So for me, my trip sounded super glamorous, and people's, advice was, well, just stay with it. It sounds amazing. It will be fine. And on the inside, there was this disconnect because I was thinking, no, you don't understand. There's something going on that doesn't feel right? And so many friends find it really difficult, or family, to just kind of sit in that messy middle space with you and go, God, I'm sorry it's so tough. I'm here for you, just talk it out. And, I don't know the answer, but I've got your back. So reflection, journaling, feeling your feelings, whatever that might be, Often we're going through some kind of grief process. There might be anger, there might be frustration, there might be sadness, and certainly some ups as well, or noticing the strength that you have to tackle the challenge that is in front of you. And so my final point is connect the dots. Now, I've mentioned that a few times, but actually it's the timing that's interesting for this one. Because so often it's impossible to connect the dots when you're in it. And like I said, the more we try and force those lessons to show up and the dots to be connected, it's like they disappear in front of you and it's impossible to just settle into that place of not knowing, acceptance of ourselves and how we feel and this disruption. And again, point one is trusting that eventually you will know what this all means for you, or you will create some meaning out of it in order to be more comfortable and allow you to grow to the next level. So eventually you'll be able to connect the dots if your mindset is reflective, if you nurture the skill of being open to learning, or people talk about the growth mindset, and that your defenses come down. When we're scared and nervous, our defenses come up and we just think, no, that's not true. It's not my fault. It's something happened to me. It's very risky and easy to get into that victim mindset. So having that openness to learning, just removing defenses, acceptance of what is, and practices can of course help with this, can allow us to flow through that process just with a little bit more ease, even if we don't understand it or the meaning has not showed up just yet. And then eventually, this is the beautiful cycle that can support us the next time life happens and things don't quite go to plan and are difficult, because trust me, that's the one certainty we have, is that life will happen and we will hit those challenges and roadblocks. But what I tend to do by journaling later, when I do have some meaning and I do have some lessons, is to stack that meaning over time. And so even in the next time when I don't know what the hell is going on, I have this evidence base that gives me insight that, hey, the last time I went through something and didn't understand what was going on, eventually it came full circle and I found some meaning and I connected deeper and I grew and I was open, whatever it might be. And so that can build that skill of trusting the process, because you now have this evidence that when times are tough, they generally do not stay that way, and you get to move through them with a little bit more ease, even if you don't understand it, because you know that eventually the meaning will show up and you will move into that place of peace and growth and just connecting those dots and knowing that everything is going to be okay. Let me know in the comments, how do you find the lesson in the worst times? Because all of us are different and it would be great to hear from you. Thanks for listening.